I know it's going to the moon.
Or you do some really stupid shit. Some greedy stupid shit. You lose that money, pretend you don't have any money. You lousy.
Hey y'all, time to pony up. Today I'm going to try to explain to you what $1 trillion is, what the Federal Reserve's been doing with it, and how it applies to you. You're probably not going to understand what $1 trillion is, but maybe by the end of this you will. I don't have much for props, so I'm going to be using this pile of horseshoes to explain what $1 trillion is. Does that make any sense? No. Well, maybe we'll be able to figure it out together as we get going. Let's get after it. And why do I have a pile of old horseshoes laying around? Hell if I know. Alright, so I'm going to start off here with this old railroad spike. This is going to be one. You understand $1, right? Put that over here. $1. $1 buy you a bottle of water if your tap don't work. Maybe a couple handfuls of rice and some bananas. Maybe a pack of gum. $1 don't buy much, but you understand $1, right? Use this horseshoe is going to be a 0, the next one. How you doing, cat? This here is barn cat, also known as Tiger the Huntress. Say hi, Tiger. All right, next up, 0 here, horseshoe, $10. You understand $10, right? What $10 can buy you, maybe buy you lunch, 6-pack of beer, something like that. Enough gas in your car to get around town. $10, we all understand that. Next up, $100. $100 now, we got 3 decimal points. With $100, you can have a good night out in the town. You can upper $100, make a payment on a car. You're not going to own that car, but you can make a payment on it. Not owning it, that's debt. We'll talk about that in a little while. After $100, which you all understand, nice to get $100. An order of magnitude bigger than $100. Next horseshoe up, $1,000. We're going to take this old rusted shoe and nail and use that as a comma. $1,000. $1,000 will pay your mortgage, it'll pay your rent. You'll be in a house, but you don't own it. So you might have $1,000, be able to do something like that. Order of magnitude larger than $1,000. If you make $1,000 in a week, you're living all right. Next up is $10,000. Somebody's making $10,000 in a week is making a hell of a lot more money, right? $10,000. I'm going to move this shoe and nail over here. $10,000. Well, you can buy somewhere in here, if you change that horseshoe to a bigger number, you might be able to buy a house. You'll be able to buy a car for $10,000. Might not be the best car in the world, but you'll be able to buy one to drive around. So you're doing all right, $10,000, right? You can take out a loan on a house for $10,000, right? You're not going to own it. You'll have debt. Next up, big ones. There, a cat. $100,000. $100,000 time. We're going to put this in here, right? I think that's where that goes. $100,000, you can buy yourself a house. You're debt free on that. Leverage it out. You're doing all right. So the $100,000, you can buy yourself a house, but you don't have that kind of money laying around, do you? Neither do I. But you can still understand $100,000 and what it can do for you, right? Think about that. After $100,000, stuck up to the big one. $1 million. Right? We're going to put some more shoe and nails in here. $1 million. That's a big one. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? If you have $1 million, you don't have to worry about money anymore. You don't have $1 million, not if you're watching this anyway. But if you do, great. We all probably know somebody who has $1 million, we may. With $1 million, you should be set for the rest of your life. Unless you do some stupid shit. But if you got $1 million, you're probably going to be all right. All right, now we're stepping up again. Order of magnitude bigger. Another horseshoe, $10 million. What's $10 million? Well, that's you money, right? You don't have to worry about anything. You're taking vacations to Monaco and driving Lambos around, flying there in your private jet. Most likely, I don't know. Most of us probably don't know anybody who's in this class. This many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 horseshoes and a railroad spike. That's a lot of money. $10 million money? You probably really don't need that kind of money, do you? you can start doing something good with this kind of money. Order of magnitude bigger. $100 million. We can't really understand that kind of money, right? Because you don't know what you do with that kind of money. Who has that kind of money? Well, supposedly, in the United States, there's over 30,000 people who have over $100 million. I don't know any of those people. You probably don't know any of them either. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 horseshoes in a railroad spike kind of money. That's a lot of damn money. We're stepping up from the $100 million. Next horseshoe, $1 billion. That's an order of magnitude larger. That's several orders of magnitude larger than anything we understand or we know. Cat, you're just being a pain in the ass. Go catch some mice, Cat. This kind of money here, this money buys elections, starts revolutions. Who has this kind of money? Nobody I know. There are some people who have this kind of money, though. We're stepping it up now. $10 billion. $10 billion is another one we don't understand. That's more horseshoes than we could ever really deal with, right? If you have that kind of money, you should be doing something good with it. How many people have that kind of money? Well, there's like Warren Buffett and like a couple other people, Bill Gates. Those kind of people have that kind of money. That's double Q kind of money. With that kind of money, you should really be doing something good with it. Most likely, they're just sitting around Scrooge McDucking their ducats, holding on to it, a little scared to lose it. When's the last time you heard any of those guys buying kids lunch and starving kids in inner city schools or giving education or building a library? I haven't. But anyway, $10 billion, that's like the market cap of General Motors or the gross domestic product of a country like Belize. That's ridiculous money. But there's people out there who actually have it. Now, so if you have $10 billion, whether you're a person or a company, and then you don't have any money, you're a dumbass. Or you did something really good. You don't hear about that very often, do you? I had $10 billion, and look, I saved a country. I saved 1 million people. You could probably do that with that kind of money, couldn't you? Or you do some really stupid shit. Some greedy, stupid shit to lose that money and pretend you don't have any money. And if you have $10 billion and you lose it, why the hell should we be helping you out at all? You're a dumbass. Now, we're getting to be so much money right now, $10 billion, that we don't even have room for all the horseshoes out here. So we're going to have to start stacking these up a little closer on each other. You want to help, Cat? Come on, Cat. Okay, we're stacking these up because we got to have room for more ducats. And then horseshoes. This one right here. $100 billion. Who has that kind of money? Well, there's one guy, that Amazon guy, Bezos, right? He has over $100 million. I don't know what he's doing on it, hiding out in an island or something, I guess. But I haven't seen him doing anything good with it. So we got this kind of money. What kind of money is this? Well, this kind of money is like market cap of, say, Exxon Mobil or something like that, right? It's gigantic. This is a gross domestic product to somewhere like Kenya. That's a lot of horseshoes. So that's $100 billion. More horseshoes and railroad spikes than we can really comprehend. It doesn't make any sense to us. Except we got one more horseshoe. This is going to make it $1 trillion. Nobody has that money. No person has that money, right? $1 trillion. That's like the gross domestic product of, say, Canada. A big country. That's a lot of damn money. So what happens with $1 trillion? Well, our Federal Reserve, which, by the way, isn't federal. It's like saying Federal Express. It's not a product of the government. It's not a part of the government. It's a private bank. And if you know who owns the Federal Reserve Bank, it's a private bank, let me know the person, not just they or Illuminati. Let me know the person or people, obviously, who own that. Anyway, so you got all these horseshoes here. It's $1 trillion. So what do they do? How do they get it? Well, they don't. They just hit a button. Somebody hits a button real fast and makes $1 trillion and sends it off, right, to banks or whoever, and they get this money. So all the debt from people down in here who have to get all their loans through banks and everything, right? All this debt and the debt from all the businesses who operate in this area here that banks loan money to. It's the thing called bonds. Now, a bond is a 4-letter word. It means the same thing as debt. So the Federal Reserve pushes a button and prints a lot of money, and then they buy these bonds from the banks who own them, because the banks own a lot of debt, right? Because this economy is kind of based on debt. So the Federal Reserve buys all these horseshoes, bad, old, used horseshoes you can't do anything with and probably not going to get paid back on anyway. They print the money, and then they buy all these bonds, this debt, and then we're supposed to So the Federal Reserve has bought more than just this many, or printed more than just this many horseshoes. We're going to need a couple more railroad spikes to up the number on the front there for how much they bought, or how much they're printing, I guess you'd call it. I don't know who's getting it. I guess they have to give it to banks in order for it to go out to somebody else, right? But you're not going to go to the bank and find that kind of money laying around. They don't have anything there. They just have little printer decimal points too. But you don't have to worry about a run on the banks. Don't panic, because first of all, you don't have any money in the bank. The bank doesn't have any cash there. It's all debt, right? So $1 trillion, if you divided that out among, say, everybody in the United States, and there's what, 330 million people in the United States right now or so that we count? That's about what? That's like over $3,000, almost $3,500 a person in the United States, divided equally, would be $1 trillion. So if they take $1 trillion, just give it to everybody, that's over $3,500. That's like half the amount that you actually got from your stimulus check this past month. Hopefully you got it. I just got mine the other day. So the Federal Reserve buys all these horseshoes, these old used up horseshoes, from the banks, and then the banks can spend more money on something else, because the Federal Reserve isn't going to buy the stock market, but these guys can, right? So the banks can, they free up, they get rid of all these horseshoes, they can buy some brand new horseshoes from, say, like Amazon or something like that, right? Give more money to a really rich guy. At that point, is any of this money real? That's $1 trillion. I can't really understand it. So the Federal Reserve has bought all these bonds with all this money that they just print like that, right? They just push a button and makes it happen. So you know what I think that is? It's horseshit. Because it looks like it, smells like it. That's right. It's horseshit. If you liked this video, thought it was funny, maybe learned something, let me know. Or if you just want to be a jerk, go ahead, troll me in the comments below. Here, catch.